Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about the first time I ever drew blood in school and what led me up to that. So this is another episode of me kind of just talking about my journey and what I have done up to this point to start working as a phlebotomy teacher. So if you're new here, my name is Kayla and I just love to share all my information that I have for you guys, so, and my life and just everything in general. So welcome to my channel. And so yeah, so this is just to get ready with me, and I'm gonna just be chit-chatting, and this one's gonna be pretty quick. I'm just gonna do a base face. So today you can see my hair is up, and so a lot of days, oh my gosh, I just made dinner. So a lot of days this is how I look, no makeup, and just this is how I have my hair. So I let it air dry, and anyway, yeah, so I just figured I would come on here and just show you guys what most of my days look like. Sometimes I feel like getting ready and doing my hair, and other days I just don't. So yeah, anyway, I'm just putting on some primer. And my last episode, I ended it off with me finishing up with CNA school, and me moving to Georgia, and I did my first semester of college ever right out of high school when I went to Georgia, and I ended up not even finishing the semester, and I moved back like right away. Right before I had my son, I ended up moving back. So I never really like got the full semester credits for that, but I don't know, it just ended up not working out. And so okay, we had some light technical difficulties right there. So anyway, I've let my face primer set, and so now we're gonna use just a light CC cream. And honestly, this is what I normally use. The last video I used some products I've never used before, and it literally made me break out. So that's why you guys didn't see me last week, because my face looked like crap. So I just was like, you know what, we're gonna skip it this week. And yeah, so these are my favorite products. I've been using them for about 2.5 years now. So yeah, I really love them. They don't make my face break out. I don't even know why I tried that other stuff, but I did. So anyway, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and wet my sponge and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. And so anyway, where was I at? Okay, so I came back from Georgia. I had my son. I did the whole stay-at-home mommy thing. We ended up moving back with my mom because we were 18 and 19, very young. And so we lived there for about 6 months. And then my mom was moving and they weren't gonna have room for us. So then we ended up moving to the Riverside area. And during that 6 months, I actually took another semester of college at Chaffey College, if you're familiar with the Inland Empire area, valley area of SoCal. And so that's where I did my second semester. I finished that up there. I really loved that. Actually, I probably should have ended up majoring in fashion because that was my absolute favorite class. It made me want to travel, that's for sure. So this is like a really base face for you guys. So, and the link will be on my link tree if you guys are interested in. Okay, and we're back. So anyway, like I was saying, if you guys are interested in these products, it's listed under my favorite makeup. I used color 04 for the concealer in the liquid VFX concealer. Yeah, so this is a very like basic face. I'm not doing anything super full. We're just doing an eyeshadow, no eyeliner, quick. So Anyway, I did my first semester of college at, I am nice and adjusted. Had to find like 3 different plugs. Okay. I won't be here for long, but plugs in this house are not the best for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, okay. Where was I at? Okay, so we're doing a base wave. That's where we're at now. And I'm using the BB powder. This is the light color. I just dab it everywhere. Anyway, so I did my first, oh, that's where I was at. Okay, so I did my first semester of college, and I studied just like my basic prerequisites, things that I needed, you know, and one of them was like a humanities, or like, I don't know, I needed art or something like that. And I loved my fashion class. It was so enlightening. It makes me want to travel Europe so badly. I loved my teacher. She did a full like sabbatical thing in Paris, and she shared all the photos and all the different stuff, and we learned about all the different eras of fashion and all of that. So I know that doesn't really have anything to do with it, but with this whole thing, but it is one of my favorite classes. So this is the palette I'm using. It's called Blink. This will not be in the link in the bio. This is just one I got sent in one of my little monthly subscription, what was it? BoxyCharm. So anyway, so I love that. Took psychology, took sociology, and then I took psychology. So that was fun. All of those I did in person, and my mom watched my son in the evenings because she lived not far from there. So that was super fun. And then we ended up moving. So then I changed schools and I went to Riverside Community College, and I took a computer class, I took English, I want to say I took math, and then I took another class. I forget the other class, but I always was in it full time. And anyway, with my money from getting, you know, financial aid and all of that stuff, because I was younger, I went ahead and I had remembered from my teacher when I was a CNA, she had recommended we just looking for eyebrow gel, that we did like a phlebotomy class because it would correlate really well with CNA. And anyway, so while I was in school for that, I I was looking at phlebotomy classes. So during that summer, I took time off from school and I did my phlebotomy class, and I also took my EKG tech class at the same school, and I took my cardiology monitor technician class at that school. So those are really quick classes. They just teach you, it was only like a 2-weekend class. Yeah, 2-weekend. Anyway, they were offering it for super cheap, so I had some extra money, and I also, my parents helped me pay for that school and some of my grandparents, so I got help definitely going to phlebotomy school and EKG and all of that. Best money I've ever spent. It's so much cheaper than it is now to go to school for that, for sure. Anyway, I've done so much with all of that. It's insane now that I look back on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna use a new palette that I got from Morphe. I'm gonna use like these orangey tones because I'm gonna use an orange lipstick. So I don't know why I'm trying to do Halloween colors, but it's just what I'm feeling. So yeah, so then I went to phlebotomy school, and while I was in, like I said, while I was in phlebotomy school, they were offering that class. So I literally went to school for like almost a month, like, or two straight, because I had to do my extern, and then I did 2 weekends of just EKG monitor technician class. So anyway, that class was super fun. I loved my teacher. She was amazing. She just had a lot of knowledge in what she was talking about, and I'm using the color Hottest Ever. This is the 35D Desert Bouquet palette. So I didn't really put any concealer in my eyes, but we're going with it. So yeah, she was great. And I remember thinking, wow, I would love to be like her. She was going to school to be a nurse too. Her family actually owned the what am I trying to say? The school that I was going to. Anyway, I just really looked up to her. She had a lot of really good advice. She is the reason why I am the phlebotomist I am today. She taught me, you know, how to be just caring with the patients and making sure that we knew that, you know, how important our jobs were and things like that, you know. So she was very informational and very patient, which was, I think, if you've watched any of my videos about like me at work, this is called Plant Zaddy. This color I'm about to put in, it's like a really dark brown. I'm gonna put it in the outer corner. And so yeah, she just taught us a lot of really good just life skills for just being in the healthcare field. I feel like I got really lucky with the teachers that I have gotten for anything that I've learned, like in my technical careers, like with phlebotomy or EKG or monitor tech. She was my teacher for all 3 of those, so I just feel really lucky to have had her, because I swear she is the reason why I am the person I am today, like just in general with life. She taught me a lot, and I love her for it. Anyway, and that school is still going on. It's called Mission Career College. They're based out of Riverside. Great technical college for anything. They have really high standards for everything, and yeah, I loved it. So I can't recommend them more. Anyway, so yeah. I'm gonna go in with just a really light orange. It's called Plant Mom, which I am. I have several plants now at this point. This is just a pretty like sparkly orange color. Anyway, so she was fantastic, very detailed in everything she taught. She really cared about the students, and I think partly it's because her family owned the actual school, but it just taught me a lot just in general, and it made me into the phlebotomist and just the career that I chose in general that I am, you know, I did in the end. So and now on the inner corner I'm using Sand Dunes. Yeah, so I appreciate her so much. But I remember the very first time I drew blood, the girl I was going to draw blood on, we're going to go underneath with that darker color too. Kind of open up the eye a little bit. Very first time, we were all in class. Everybody was really nervous. You know, the very first time you draw blood, you're very nervous. And it's just one of those things, you know, like you don't know what to expect and just all of the above, you know. And so we had a fainter. The very first girl that I drew blood on was a fainter. So in the midst of all of that, right before I actually drew blood, there was a huge earthquake. So this was back in 2008 when this happened. 2008 was when I got my phlebotomy license, and I swear to you, it couldn't have been more ironic. I've told all of my students about this story. And yeah, so I was completely shook up right before I even got to the point of even drawing blood. And yeah, we were like outside for like a half an hour waiting to make sure let me remind you, we were on the 3rd story of the building that we were in. And this is Lash Princess. It works pretty good. I just haven't ordered any from the company that I normally use like most of my makeup for. But this is a good one. It's only like $5. So yeah, then we come back in and everybody's, you know, nerves are all high and everyone's acting, you know, nervous, even more so because I mean, I'm talking like I was literally about to draw blood. I had the tourniquet on. I had the needle out. I had already cleaned and prepped the skin, and the whole building just was like all over the place. And so anyway, our nerves were already high as it was. And yeah, to say the least, of me saying that I was on the bottom of my eye, I was super nervous. And anyway, surprisingly, the earthquake was based out of like right where my grandparents lived, and they had Jeremy at the time. So yeah, it was like crazy. Anyway, so then we come back up and everybody's nerves are all high and this and that and whatever. And the very first girl that I draw blood on faints, like drops to the floor. This is all within the same day, let me remind you. And so anyway, yeah, that's what happened the very first day that I drew blood. I learned how to handle a fainting patient, and I also learned how to handle an earthquake all in one day. So that was literally the first day we ever drew blood. So if you're nervous about drawing blood, just think about me when you are thinking about drawing blood, because honestly, that was like worst case scenario like ever. And so anyway, yeah, that's exactly what happened that day, and I will never forget it. I tell all my students about it, and it helps their nerves tremendously. Because, I mean, like, that's like worst case scenario when you first start drawing blood. So, yep. So I say, if I can get through that, you can get through just literally anything doing phlebotomy. And then I did all of my, you know, we went throughout class, and I actually felt super confident after that. I just wasn't as nervous. So, and everybody was letting everybody draw blood. And for those of you that don't know, if you're looking into like becoming a phlebotomist, you have to actually draw on each other. So anyway, my teacher taught me so much within just that day of doing that and how to handle a stressful situation. It's played out in my whole career pretty much. So I appreciate it a lot more than I did the day that it happened. But it's just a funny story to tell now, especially because, you know, it's just one of those things that are funny to talk about, and, you know, it could be worse, I guess, right, when you're first starting off as a phlebotomist. So anyway, that is it for my story today. My light was not working very well, so some of this is going to be clipped in a little bit. I'm going to edit it, but I really appreciate you guys being here and taking your time to watch me. And if you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. I would love to answer them. And other than that, that is it. Thank you again for watching, and have a great day. Bye.